I want to make sure that moving forward we have something that has meaning and teeth to it to try to reduce the opportunity for predators to prey on kids.
A Winnipeg football coach is speaking out and calling for immediate change to protect students after a former football coach and teacher was charged with several counts of sexual assault. Last week, Winnipeg police announced the arrest of 51-year-old Kelsey McKay, a former coach and phys ed teacher at both Churchill High School and Vincent Massey Collegiate. McKay was charged with 5 counts of sexual assault after 5 of his former students came forward with allegations that occurred between 2004 and 2011. Police said majority of the offenses occurred in his home.
I was extremely disgusted and disappointed, but not super surprised.
Winnipeg Rifles head coach Jordy Wilson coached with McKay on the Manitoba provincial football team for a few years and coached against him for several more. Wilson says one interaction with him in particular sticks out.
We had actually exchanged game tapes, but they were like VCR copies, right? So it wasn't digitalized. So I remember going over to Kelsey McKay's house on a Sunday night at about 7, 8 o'clock, and I'm at the door exchanging a tape, and there's like 5 or 6 kids in there. I'm like, well, what are these guys doing here? Oh, they're just watching the NFL game. And I thought, that's kind of weird. What do you got kids here for?
Wilson says new rules are needed now to protect students and players at all costs. He feels teachers and coaches should not be allowed to have players and students in their homes. He has a meeting set up with Education Minister Wayne Owasco and Sport, Culture and Heritage Minister Andrew Smith at the end of the month to discuss further changes. He also has written a letter to school divisions in Winnipeg and Sport Manitoba. Last Wednesday, Winnipeg Police Constable Danny McKinnon says historical cases like these can be difficult.
We'll have to go back in and access witnesses, talk to perhaps businesses, institutions. Sometimes that may no longer exist, so it can be quite challenging.
McKinnon anticipates there could be more victims in this case. Wilson fears the same. He has a son and daughter who played sports while they were teenagers and says the thought of this happening to his kids is gut-wrenching.
We're not stopping until we get meaningful change. And I'm not saying I have all the answers and that the document I've produced is refined to, pass through the ledge and all that kind of stuff. But it's a starting point, and it's a solid starting point that we have to massage to make work, but we're not stopping.
Spring camp for his team begins next week, and Wilson says he will have an open discussion about this case with his players before they hit the field. In Winnipeg, Alex Karpa, City News.